All right, I think it worked. We are now live.
Hey.
What's up?
All right, what's going on,
everybody.
everybody? Welcome to the jaBROnis presented by BODYSLAM.net. We are now live.
Oh, no, I hear it again.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the jaBROnis presented by BODYSLAM.
Anybody else hear the echo? This is killing me.
How's that now?
I don't hear it. Do you guys
I
hear
don't
it?
hear it now.
I think when we started it, it opened up a tab here and started playing it live for me. I X'd
Gotcha.
out of that.
All right, so we're good now.
All right, so like we were saying, welcome to the jaBROnis presented by BODYSLAM.net. I'm Topher McCann, joined as always with Mr. Mike Butler.
Yeah, I am.
And we have a very special guest. We got the boss man here. He's had a pretty busy week. He's half of the host of The Push on BODYSLAM.net. He runs all of BODYSLAM.net. We have Mr. Cassidy Haynes.
Hey, guys. How's everybody? It's been a busy week. There's some stuff happening, I think, this week. It's been busy.
Just a little.
Yeah, plus just figuring out we just had the whole.
Yeah, we're learning on the fly. We're professional around here, but we got it now. We're live. Everybody can see us, I think.
And yeah, you've had a pretty busy week. And I know a lot of people probably want to ask you a bunch of things, want your thoughts on all this breaking news. But before we start, I have one question for you.
Let's hear it.
Story of the week. Let me hold on one second here. What are you thinking about that big title win by Reginald? Huh? Everyone wants to know your thoughts.
I was thrilled. We're all excited, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. That's the big news is they finally got some gold on Reginald and we can all fucking finally put that to rest.
That's the stuff people need to know. That's the stuff people want.
Oh yeah, man. So what you guys been up to? I haven't seen you guys since last March for my birthday?
Yeah.
Man, it's been a while.
We're planning some trips. Hopefully, maybe might pop up in Missouri.
Yeah, are you guys going to Chicago or where are you guys going to be?
I can't. I really want to do Chicago. I don't think I will be able to. I think I'm going to do Full Gear.
I'm going to be there too, I think.
Just that whole weekend of All Out. It's just a lot of stuff. Kids are going back to school. Holiday weekend. I missed one. My wife's birthday's that weekend also. Probably should have said that first.
Yeah, happy birthday.
So I'll be watching that from home most likely, but you never know.
Yeah, man. It's so how's your guys' week been?
Well, I mean, for me personally, I also had a big week. Kind of cameo here.
Yeah, I heard you got a title.
Yeah, so Kane dropped this off after a big Money in the Bank win, and he had to go back to Knox County and do his mayor stuff. So I'm holding on to this for him.
He came back down to my part of the woods, man.
Yeah,
it's about an hour and 10 minutes from me.
So holding on to that. So I had a great week. So
Kane had a great week. WWE Hall of Famer Kane had a great week.
Yeah, so
he usually does.
Well, don't worry, that's coming back home soon enough. I got my one. I'm also in Cass's co-host, Tom Malin. I'm under siege. I'm in his studio.
Dude, take it over. He doesn't use that shit anymore anyway. When's the last time he used it for us?
Yeah, so I got a bunch of knickknacks. So if anybody wants some stuff behind me, I'm just gonna give it away.
It's open season. Yeah, take it.
And also, I think I stole a Coca-Cola of his as well.
Oh, nice.
And a bottle of water. I'm completely taking over.
Soda wars here. I had to get Pepsi. I hate Pepsi. But unless Pepsi wants to sponsor me, then I love Pepsi. But
take it on.
I'm a Coke guy because I'm from Atlanta.
So now, where should we start with all this?
Where do you want to start?
I mean, this is a pretty crazy week from Sunday night all the way on till you had
What a week! We got
Cena. You breaking some insane news about
I did break a little news. Do you want to just jump into that first then?
Okay. Let's get into this.
So what would you like to ask about that, and we'll tackle it.
When did you first hear the rumblings of this actually occurring?
The night before I wrote about it.
Okay.
But I didn't really sink in what I was what kind of cryptic shit got sent to me. I was just like, okay, cool. Why are you sending me CM Punk and Daniel Bryan's old theme songs? I was just like, that seems like a wasted text. I was like, all right, whatever. And I ignored it. Went to bed and woke up to another couple messages like, hey man, so you didn't respond. And then he went into detail with what was going on. And then I saw Sean's report about CM Punk. And I was like, oh shit, I dropped the ball on some of this. And then followed up with what else was going on with that Daniel Bryan thing. So I didn't find out until like late Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. And then I spent all day Wednesday trying to vet and second source and third source that and nobody, it's one of those things. Nobody's going to come out straight out and say and acknowledge it because come on, you can't, you know what I mean? But I was able to get enough information to put everything together to where I was confident and completely confident in putting that report out there. So yeah, I mean, it was a very stressful 24 hours basically, or about 12 hours basically, but yeah, I didn't sleep, haven't slept much this week. It's one of those.
Because once it came out, I mean, it got picked up by everybody, almost to the point where I was talking to Mike and I was saying, seemed like there was a couple people just trying to take your credit completely away.
People always piggyback, but you know, I mean, it is what it is, and that's why I wanted to put a little bit more stuff out afterwards. You know, I was told 100% he's signed, the deal's already done. They already had plans in place for him to debut at Arthur Ashe on the 22nd. However, that was started. None of this started until like a couple weeks ago. So Meltzer saying that he knew since May. Nah, they had internally discussed it in May when he was released, or not released, but his contract expired. But they didn't start talks until about 3 weeks ago. So everything has just happened recently. So that happened, and then the Punk stuff happened after Bryan. So they had plans in place for everything with Bryan, Arthur Ashe. That's their plan, and then this Punk stuff happened, and it's kind of thrown a wrench into like how do they want to present everything, and now they've got to reformat everything because of that, you know, because it's just how do you capitalize off this buzz and what are they going to do exactly is what they've been trying to figure out. But yeah, so, you know, Daniel Bryan started talking a couple weeks ago. They've worked everything out. He's was supposed to do Arthur Ashe. And as of 2 days ago, that was still the plan, I was told, unless that changes. But, you know, they can always just change up when he's going to debut, but it's happening. It's guaranteed to be there.
Pretty insane.
Yeah, I mean, like everybody's like, how sure are you that this is going to happen? I was like, do you not realize the weight of this report? If I'm wrong here, the fucking career's done. You know, I mean, nobody's going to ever take me seriously again. So like, that's how confident I am in it. Than the fact that like, you know, I mean, how can I recover from this if it doesn't pan out the way I said it's going to pan out, that he's going to sign with AEW, which he has done. So yeah, no, I'm very confident in it, or I wouldn't have wrote it, because you can't really come back from a swing and a miss that big, you know? So.
Right. Yeah. And
I love the, go ahead.
Sorry. All right. Yeah, you kind of took the words out of my mouth. I was going to ask like if this was wrong, then it's a pretty big hit to the career. So
yeah, nobody will ever take me seriously again. So like, yeah, I mean, I had to. It's a do or die piece. So I mean, yeah, I'm very confident in it, or I wouldn't have done it, because you know, how would I build back anybody's confidence in anything I write again if, you know, I'm this wrong? So I don't think I'm wrong. I know I'm right. So that's why I wrote it. You know, I'm pretty good on my track. I mean, I write, you know, we cover a lot of stuff. We aggregate a lot of news, which everybody does. And a lot of things don't pan out. But the ones that I put my name on and say, this is our exclusive, this is it. I've not been wrong in years. So, and the one I was technically off on, I wasn't off. It's just I couldn't prove it. I got denied that it happened, but then I know it happened. But, you know, it was a whole thing. If the guy had admitted to it happening, it was a breach of contract. So what's he going to do? Is he going to screw himself over and admit to doing something he shouldn't have done in the first place? No. So it is what it is. This is right. It's going to happen. I'm ready. I can't wait for it. It's so exciting now, you know, all this shit that's going on. I mean, the buzz on wrestling has not been this hot in how long, you know?
I was saying this week, like this, I can't think back of another time where the biggest news stories ever in wrestling, I feel, in a very, very, very long time, went down within a few days, like
right.
Each other.
Yeah. And there's probably, I don't know. It's a good chance it was all kind of supposed to work out that way, that everything kind of happened at once for a reason. But anyway, I got some stuff to add to this, some stuff here, so I don't have anything new on Daniel Bryan other than what's I already said. But everybody keeps asking about this CM Punk stuff. And like I said the other day, I heard about it initially. Everything that Sean had wrote, I had pretty much heard. Before I had even realized that he had wrote the article, I was hearing it and talking to somebody about it. And then when I started talking to him, I hit him up and was like, "Hey, have you heard this?" He's like, "I'm about to hit publish right now, pal." And he sent me the link. So yeah, everything I had heard, he, was like, that's all what I'm about to publish. So I haven't heard much since then, but I had heard some other stuff afterwards, a little bit. I can't confirm Ringside News' report. I can't confirm that he's signed, but I believe the report 100%. And I've had a lot of other stuff told to me that kind of, makes me solidifies why I believe that. So I was told that the last I was told when I was asking to clarify and try to confirm their report was that, he's 100% for Chicago. They want CM Punk to be in Chicago. He's 100% going to be there. And it's not a matter of if, it's when. So there's three Chicago shows. We've got, the Dynamite on the 1st, Rampage on Friday the 3rd, and then Sunday for All Out. So it's going to be one of those 3 shows. They said it's 100% he'll be there. So which one? Who knows, man? One of those 3, I definitely see that being. It's all there. Everything checks out, and like it falls in line with what I was told about AEW's plans for Chicago. They view Chicago as their like number 2 market, their big market. I guess their home base would probably be their number 1, which I'm assuming is Florida.
Yeah.
But they want Chicago to be, that's their number 2 market. So they're going big things. They're going all out for Chicago, so it's yeah, that's the plan there. I don't see anything else. I haven't heard anything else that tells me otherwise. So yeah, I definitely believe their report,
Would you think it would make sense for them to debut Punk on Rampage and kind of build up to maybe like a quick announcement that he's going to be competing at All Out? Or do you think that All Out is like where you have to do it?
I don't know. I think you want to add pay-per-view sales, right? So I think you would want to do it on Wednesday or Friday. But that was what I was told, is they're just trying to figure out what makes the most sense. They want to know, they're trying to figure out how to reformat this, like who should appear and when, and who should be involved, with these talents when they come in, and just like how they should capitalize on this buzz, because right now, they're the most talked about thing going on in wrestling right now. So, they're not going to deny it, and they're not going to, confirm it right now probably either, because that's just how that works. For anybody expecting AEW to come out and to say, yeah, we've signed Daniel Bryan as CM Punk, they're going to spoil their own surprise. But for the information to get out, it makes sense, because now there's a huge buzz about it and everybody's talking about it, and you're going to tune in. You want to see now, are they right? Is it going to happen? Like it said, it's like everybody says it's going to happen. So yeah, I think they're just trying to work out like the best way to figure out how to capitalize on all this buzz for the last week. So if it was me, I'd say you do it on Dynamite or Rampage, not on All Out, because you want to sell those pay-per-views. But it's not me that's in charge of that. So I don't know,
It leads to just like, again, we were saying right before we were talking, I was like, it's not a bad problem to have having all of these.
And that's kind of what I was told had happened, is that they had plans laid out through All Out. They had 2 months mapped out, everything was fine. But then in the last couple of weeks, you got Daniel Bryan has fallen in your lap, and now like that's happening. So okay, now we got to figure out how to make that work. And then since then, Punk's happened. So now it's just like, holy shit, we got to figure this out the best way we can, and figure out how to present it the best way to everybody that makes the most sense. So, it's not a bad situation to be in, that you have to change up your plans that you had at the last second, especially with this, like you said, it's a good problem to have, I think. And I think there's probably other stuff too in line that we don't know about. More
Well,
surprises, little things sprinkled in here and there, along the way.
well, yeah, they're always going to be like with these two announcements, I guess you would say. I mean, there's always going to be now like, oh my God, now they're going to sign this guy, or now they're going to sign this guy. And, you could, there's a lot of people that say, AEW is like just signing old WWE guys and stuff. But when you're talking about like the level of talent that Daniel Bryan and CM Punk have, like, how could you not, And I don't think they really care that they necessarily have that reputation, maybe to some people, but like you can't pass up on the opportunity to get Daniel Bryan and Punk in there.
No, it's the biggest. Those are the biggest two signings in the last 10 years, probably for any company. So no, yeah, you definitely a good position to be in, to have an abundance of talent and debuts to map out. But like the other night, the same Wednesday, right before Dynamite, when I wrote the Daniel Bryan thing, there was stuff I knew Nick Gage was showing up. I told Sapp, I told Zarian, and a couple of the guys in the business, hey, what's going to happen here in a few minutes, just so don't tell anybody, just just so they know, just so people know that I know what the fuck I'm talking about a little bit too.
Yeah.
So to help my credibility a little bit out is like, if these guys, other journalists know that what I know is right, then it helps everything out. But yeah, I think they got more. I think you're gonna have more stuff like Nick Gage too sprinkled in. Some other little debuts here and there along the way leading up to all this, at All Out, because people are talking about they're just bringing all these talents in, and it's people are going to get overlooked. Look how much more programming now they got to fill. They got another TV show coming. They've got Dark Elevation, Dark, and they got all this programming to fill. And so bringing in more people is not a problem. I don't see it being a problem like a lot of people have commented in, talked about. But I don't know, man. You guys, which one of you guys are going to Chicago? Anybody? No, not you. You're St. Louis. You're not going. Is Dom going?
I don't know if I heard him talking about it. I don't know if he's like set on going.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun week, man. I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be a long week,
I mean,
But
the tickets to Chicago, I've heard, have increased since that announcement. So I mean,
funny how that works, right? Isn't that weird?
Tells like how relevant Punk still is, and
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan even if he competes at that event.
Yeah, and you've got Kenny Omega talking about it today on podcast. You had Tony Khan answering, or not answering Conan, but answering Conan yesterday on his podcast about it. So I mean, they're not denying it, because they like the buzz and they want their sales too. But at the same time,
Because the other reason, because of Full Gear too, I was just thinking, I was like, if they debut in September, like in my head, I'm like, are both of their first matches going to be at Full Gear? Like, because
I don't know. See about that too. I don't know, because I've also heard, since so going back to the whole should they view Chicago as their number 2 big market. I had heard that Tony had a big announcement coming, and it was going to be a venue or an event announcement. And I don't know if they've made that announcement yet, but I was hearing rumblings about the United Center being talked about, like for the bigger venue in Chicago. And that kind of makes sense. They sold out the Sears Center, or what's it now, the Now Arena, the same building, so quick, and it's 13,000. So that's doubled this year. The United Center be double the building. And what did they do right before the pandemic? They had All Out in Chicago, and then they came right back in November, the night before Thanksgiving, for a Dynamite in Chicago. I kind of see that being the case again this year, that they return to Chicago in November, probably hit the United Center up, bigger venue. So, you might have him debut and just be on shows leading up, but you could also have his first match be Thanksgiving at the United Center in Chicago, but you could have him along the way to boost shows and ratings and sell tickets. But yeah, I wasn't able to confirm or get anybody else to second source or third source the United Center thing, but it was all coming from the same person, that I got a lot of this other stuff from. So yeah, the United Center I heard was a possibility. So maybe that's it. And I also heard tales and rumblings about them going to try to go back to the UK. I know they were going to do that for Fyter Fest before the pandemic, and I've heard some people mention that to me. So those are two big options as far as like what do you do then to make those shows even more special. You know, your first time overseas, what are you going to do? You're going to have some more debuts lined up. You got big matches planned. What do you got for that? But, and if you look, I know that I don't think, have they announced any shows past Full Gear as far as like to buy for tickets? That's like the first week in November. I know as far as media goes, like on our, like what we can apply for media stuff for, there's nothing past Full Gear between November and then I think like January and New Orleans. So you got a gap there where I don't think they've mapped anything out yet as far as where they're going to go. So I think they might come back to Chicago for that bigger venue show around Thanksgiving, and maybe, I don't know what they'll do in December. I mean, if they were talking about going overseas, do they do it before Christmas or they wait and do it first of next year? I don't know. Just have to see what he wants to do with that. But, you know, Tony's got big connections in England. I mean, he owns the Fulham Football Club. So it's not like that English market's something he's not familiar with. So they were wanting to go there. They were wanting to do that last year, but we had the pandemic screw all that up. So yeah, Ringside's report about them talking about the UK, like that's totally not far-fetched either. I'd heard some stuff about it already, but like I said, I couldn't get enough confirmation from anybody else to feel like running that one. But again, I mean, if they did, shit, who's to say that yeah, I'm not going to turn that down and say that one's false either. I think that one's probably pretty accurate. So that's a lot of big shit for the next year or next 6 months for AEW, you know, potentially. So the other day I got twisted out of context. People talking about on another podcast where I said things that I've heard that they have planned also makes everything else I'd heard with the Daniel Bryan, the Punk thing that much more interesting. And it's not that it's more interesting than the Punk and Bryan news, which people were trying to quote me as saying I was saying that adding Punk and Bryan to all these other things, I mean, that's shit. And just how much more interesting is it to think about a UK trip with Punk and Bryan being attached to it? Or how much more sense does it make to have a big United Center Chicago venue show with like those two names attached? You know, I mean, that's kind of what I was getting at. Is it's just like everything that I'd heard and the plans that they have, it sounds like that are big with all these signings, it just kind of fills in and just makes sense, you know? So
I want to ask you something about when you broke the story and when you look at the comments and all right, I can't stand people on Twitter. It's well known, but how do you feel when you get the report and Sean Ross came out and gave his full-blown support and backed you up on it? But how does it make you feel when you post an article like that and then you have these little like dweebs come on and go like, if SRS says it, then I'll believe it, but if not, then we're just gonna wait then? And it's just
hey,
like,
man, you know, that's fine. You know, I mean, I'm not to the point that somebody like he is yet, but you know, I mean, I hate that everybody has to run it through. Like, even if Sean said that he hasn't heard it, but he's, you know, he knows me well enough to know that I know people, and that, you know, I probably wouldn't risk it if I didn't 100% believe that it was going to happen, you know? So I appreciate those vote of confidence from like him and John Alba and Andrew Zarian and these guys that have gotten to know me and respect my work. And the people that don't, you know, maybe if they're putting me over helps these people pay attention and take my word a little bit more, then I mean, whatever, you know. They're not trying to steal my story, so I don't really care that it takes them to acknowledge it for people to maybe consider it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And that's fine. You know, I mean, it is fine. You know, it takes time. You know, I mean, you don't just come up. I mean, you gotta start somewhere. So
I just had fun scrolling down.
oh God, I had to turn
It
my
was like one every 5
notifications off,
comments.
dude. I had to turn my notifications off and mute so many things just because. And the people wanting to fight about it too. Like that's the most crazy thing I've ever seen, of people just getting mad at me and wanting to like talk shit and fight and argue on Twitter about it. Like, dude, what? Why? What? I don't have time for that. And Facebook's even worse, dude. It's a cesspool.
Yeah.
But you know, and I like the it was funny to watch the change. So Wednesday night, everybody's excited. So excited. And then by Thursday morning, it's like, you know what? Fuck them for spoiling it. Fuck that guy. Like, what? You were happy and now you're mad? Like, and something that big was going to get out. Like, I mean, I don't know. People can get mad at and talk shit about, you know, us spoiling all the big surprises. Something like that, I think, was going to get out, and especially, I think if they didn't want some stuff out, I think they could do a good job keeping it from getting out. You know?
Yeah, and I had mentioned that off air that, if Sean didn't release the Punk stuff, then that would have been out. I
Somebody
think
was
the
getting
same
to it.
thing for your story as well. And AEW, for the most part, has been pretty good with surprises. So 100%, if they wanted it to probably be a surprise, they'd keep it that way. I mean, nobody expected Sting on Dynamite, So
Yeah, I mean, and it's still a surprise, even if we know that it's happening. You know what I mean? And this because they haven't confirmed it and announced it themselves, it's still going to be a surprise, technically, but you're tuning in to wait and see, but you're still going to be shocked, and I think they're going to present it enough. I think they'll present, even though we have ideas that's going to happen, it'll be presented well enough that you're still shocked and surprised by it, So
yeah.
they're good at what they do, man. They do a very good job at this. So I have all the confidence in us being completely satisfied with how these debuts and everything shake out and play out, But yeah, this is all new, man. All this stuff happened within the last this month, it seems like. So I mean, yeah, it's who knows what's going to happen next month,
Are you going to be there this Wednesday?
I'm at Fight for the Fallen this week, and I'm front row. I was gonna do they mediated me, so I was gonna be there covering it in the media section. But a friend of mine that I met these guys in DC at the first show. They were just sitting next to me, and we just struck it off and made friends and stayed in touch online. And then I guess they live in Jacksonville or down in Florida, and they're at every Daily's Place show. So I've as much as I've been to Daily's Place since DC. So I guess I saw them in November, January, and then like the last 5 times at the last couple months. So they end up having a spare ticket, and they were like, "Hey, if you want it," I'm like, shit, yeah, I guess I do want that ticket. So, yeah, I bought a ticket. I bought a ticket to a wrestling show for the first time in a long time. Yeah, and it's actually the first time since Double or Nothing in Vegas, because I bought tickets to that, and I sat on the floor instead of in the media section because I was like, these seats are better. So that's kind of what I'm feeling like for Fight for the Fallen. Like, this is a better seat. So yeah, a buddy of mine are going, and I'll be at Homecoming on the 4th in Daly's Place. So I'll get to see Malachi Black and Cody live. So that'll be fucking fun too. And then like I said, I'll be September All Out, Dynamite and Rampage, hopefully. And then hopefully I'll be in New York. So I've have to be there for Arthur Ashe, right? Since I kind of broke the scoop that's where he's supposed to come out and debut and all that, I kind of feel obligated.
I had that thought as well, thinking I was looking at ticket prices. I was like, that's not that far away.
It's not that far away, and I kind of feel obligated now. So yeah, I guess I don't know where I'm staying yet. So if I get the email back about that, I'll buy a plane ticket and figure out what's up when I get up there. But I told like 10 people or more on Twitter, I'm like, hey, I might be sleeping on your floor or wherever hotel you're staying at. I'll crash on the couch, whatever. So planned that. Then we got November for Full Gear. So we got a lot of stuff going on, man. I'm gonna be all over the damn place. So
all over the place.
I was trying to go to Charlotte today to watch PWX. I love my North Carolina indie, man. PWX is great. So I was wanting to go check them out. We got Ethan Page on the show today against JD Drake. So I was hoping to go check that out. Danny Jordan's on the show. I forgot who else, man. I don't have the card in front of me, but yeah, I was thinking about going to that's a 2.5 hour drive if I make it. So I still have a few hours to figure it out, but yeah, man, what about you guys? You got anything? What are you doing?
We got some shows planned out that we're going to be going to. I think we're going to be going to SmackDown in September, which I can't wait to go out and do some man on the street stuff in the parking lot and interact with people.
That'll be fun. When so I was wanting to go to the SmackDown in Atlanta, but they canceled that one.
Any reason? I don't remember seeing like a reason.
I saw low ticket sales, but I'd heard some things that I couldn't confirm, and I have not been able to confirm, so I'm not real comfortable throwing it out there. But I had heard some sponsorship issues, but I don't like beefs between sponsors.
Yeah, okay.
But I don't know I don't know if that's true or not. I really couldn't figure it out. And the only way, I mean, it's the State Farm Arena. Is State Farm still a sponsor of Raw? Do they still do State Farm commercials on during Raw? I don't remember. Because I know we got Progressive insurance commercials all over fucking SmackDown last night.
I don't
I
know.
mean,
if
now
they-
that you think about it, now you say it, I'm totally watching Raw back just for the commercials.
Just for the
And we
commercial.
used to, because I know that we used to get a bunch of Jake from State Farm commercials, but I don't know if State Farm's a sponsor of WWE anymore. And I know that it was supposed to be at the State Farm Arena. So, I mean, maybe if Progressive is their main sponsor now for SmackDown, the State Farm Arena didn't want SmackDown sponsored by Progressive to be at their venue. I don't know if that's true or not. Couldn't vet that one. Couldn't get anything second on that one. But initially, that was kind of what I had told, a rumor that it was something to do with sponsorship beefs and not ticket sales, because they just announced, didn't they just announce that there's going to be a fucking pay-per-view in Atlanta on January 1st now?
Yeah.
So tickets didn't sell in November or whatever month it was supposed to be, but they're going to sell 2 months later. Like, I don't know. Who knows
Yeah,
what's
it
up
could
with
be
that?
different venue, maybe.
I think it's the same venue.
Oh, well, I don't know.
How long does the sponsorship name rights last for the fucking building? Because it's January 1st now instead of in this, you know what I mean, or whatever,
Yeah.
if it's going to be a New Year's show. So who knows, man? I don't know. I was wondering about that. That seemed very interesting to me, and I dug all week trying to figure out if that was true or not. And I have not heard anything else back other than in the first initial person telling me that that was the case. But it's kind of interesting to think about, like, could that be an issue there, you know? So who knows? Because State Farm, if you do remember, is a big AEW fucking sponsor as well. So who knows? I don't know what's the case there. I guess we'll see. More people will dig on it, but yeah, I heard ticket sales is what they were going with. I think that was in the Observer on the newsletter, that it was low ticket sales. I think they'd only sold like 1,400 tickets at the time, and they're like, yeah, fuck that. That's not enough for this big of a venue. So
That's the thing with WWE shows that when tickets went on sale, you try to get the cheapest tickets up as high as possible. And then you
They'll
go to
pull
the
you down.
show and it's tarped off. And I did that at Battleground a few years ago when Cena and Rusev had the flag match, and there was the Punjabi prison match, which I was already on my way out by time then. But I remember we got bumped all the way to the stage right where they came out, and my son loved New Day. And while we were walking around the arena at the bottom, they're like, "We're going live in 20 seconds." And New Day came out, and he was like,
oh, that's awesome.
"What?" And I was like, "Yeah, this is great. This is why you get no section. Then they tarp it off, and then you come down the."
Yeah, I mean, they always tarp off stuff. Everybody makes a big deal about them tarping off seats. Like, oh, ticket sales are garbage. Look at them tarping shit off. I'm like, it just makes sense to, like, if they were a little weak in that section, just to tarp that section off and move everybody down lower. It doesn't necessarily mean your company's struggling with sales, but I mean, they've tarped off shit since I remember going to shows in the 90s and everything was tarped off half the time too on camera side. So it's whatever.
And we also have a Dynamite coming up here in Philly in October.
I saw that.
That I almost feel like we should go to the Dynamite and just ask people questions about Reginald and Baron Corbin, and then we
love
go
Baron
to the
Corbin.
WWE show and ask people about Punk and Daniel Bryan.
So I don't know if you can see. Hold on, let me get that. So right here, we got my man right here, Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin.
Yes.
So that was a good show. That was an NXT event in 2016 in Columbia, South Carolina. That it was Finn Balor and Austin Aries versus Baron Corbin and Ty Dillinger in the main event.
Yes.
Yeah. Also on the card, look at this. We had Asuka versus Eva Marie for the NXT title.
5 stars.
Shinsuke Nakamura versus Manny Andrade. Do you remember Manny Andrade?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's that guy that they changed his name like 4 times. I think he's in AEW now. Yeah. Then we got the NXT tag titles. My boys, The Revival, against American Alpha when they had just taken the belts from him, and that was the Revival's like farewell tour, because they did like Spartanburg the night before, Charlotte the night before that, and then Columbia on their way, like because they just got called up to the main roster and shit. And we had Alex Riley versus Elias Sampson on that show.
Yes.
The Drifter Elias Sampson. We had Carmella Peyton Royce, Patrick Clark, not even the Velveteen Dream, Patrick Clark versus Riddick Moss, and No Way Jose versus Blake.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, have time.
Look at how many people aren't even fucking in the company now that are on that show. It's wild. That's wild to me.
Wow.
Man, 5 years, quite a difference 5 years makes, right?
Happens.
But yeah, I got some more stuff I'm going to be working up too for everybody that's paying attention and interested in some more. I got some follow-ups to these scoops I'm working on. It's going to take me a couple of days or a day to get some more information. I want to find out a little bit more before I go with it, especially now, as critical as everybody's being. I want to make sure I get all my facts straight, but hopefully I'll have another update on Daniel Bryan in a day or two. But everything I've heard, man, we're good to go with that one. Nothing. That one's in stone. That one was already signed. The Punk one, though, they were working on the deal. Can't confirm that he'd signed, like I said, with like Ringside said yesterday, but I definitely don't not believe it, especially because, like I said, everything I had heard about their plans for Chicago and all that, it was like it was going to happen, just a matter of how long it took them to work out all the little details and put all that to bed. But man, it's exciting. It's exciting right now, guys. I haven't been excited about wrestling, honestly, in a while. And I do this for a fucking living. I'm just like, here we go, but I actually watched SmackDown and Raw this week. Don't tell Dom. Don't tell Dom. I'll never hear the fucking end of it.
I was just going to ask you that. I was like, have you been keeping up with WWE?
Trying to. I try to, man. I try every week. I really do. I'll put it on. I might get like 10 minutes in and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to watch Hell's Kitchen. Like, fuck it. But I actually this week watched it all, and probably catch some flack. I'm not gonna lie. It's because I'm a Cena fan. Big Cena fan.
We're all Cena fans.
Yeah, anybody that says they're not, it's a fucking liar. It's kind of like that thing with Nickelback. Everybody hates Nickelback, but yet they fucking know every Nickelback song. It's the same thing. You don't want to admit to it, but yet it's part of it. It's part of you. He's part of you.
Huge. He's getting up there with Rock level, huge in Hollywood. Like, he's everywhere.
Man, yeah. I'm looking forward to that Peacemaker series that HBO did. They wrapped up. Yeah.
And he's back people will say what they want about the whole him coming back, but it's good. It's got people watching again. He got me watching. You say, oh, Cena's come. I was just talking before we got on about like how are they, if they're building him up to be on like every Raw and SmackDown leading up to SummerSlam. It's like at a certain point, is he just gonna like keep showing up on Raw and calling out a dude who's like not even on that show, or is it gonna lead to like a mini feud before? Like, is he gonna do something on Raw, or is he just gonna come out and be like, "You're not my tribal chief"?
I don't know.
I don't think they even thought about that, because it just sounds like the only reason he's on Raw is because USA probably nudged at them so much and the ratings have been so bad. It's like, you cannot just have Cena on Fox. We need Cena on
like the Hell in a Cell on SmackDown.
Yes. And it'll pop a rating, but then if they don't have anything planned, like you said, you can't cut a promo on Roman Reigns on Monday Night Raw every week.
Yeah.
They may have to try and see if he can work a match on a Raw, just a throwaway match. They put up so many rematches, like, why not have Cena versus like a Riker or something? I don't know, anything like that.
Put Riker
it seems like that's what it seems like they're going that route, because they had Finn and Roman now at the end of SmackDown last night, so it looks like they're going to do that while they're teasing the Roman and Cena program. Yeah. It's like you're going to have Roman work Finn and do some other shit. Now you'll probably have Cena do the same thing. If not, like you said, it might get boring. It's going to get boring to see him come out every Monday and be like, "Hey, I still want my match. You still won't give it to me." But God, that's probably what we're going to get.
Butler, obviously, with his headgear, thinks that the title is getting dropped to Baylor, and then Cena and Roman will be a non-title match.
Absolutely.
You know, it's not far fetched.
Nothing would surprise me, honestly.
Yeah, it's not far fetched.
Not far fetched. That's the thing. It's not
Because
far-fetched
think about
at
it. All
all.
right, so do it this way. See, if that's the case, think of it this way. Here's how that makes sense: is you have who to keep you don't want that way Reigns doesn't lose on a cash in. He has because Big E. You know, you think they're gonna eventually give Big E that run, right? So like maybe he cashes it in over whoever beats Roman, and then that's your little.
Yo, how mad would you be if Big E cashed it on Finn Balor?
Existence.
Yeah, because I don't think they want. I mean, I think they want Roman to lose. They want it. They probably want it to be to where he saves face. You know what I mean? To where you still have him look really strong and be your fucking main. I mean, that's your guy, right? So you don't want to like weaken him by just having. It's like kind of like that whole thing with Nikki Cross and like Charlotte. So how much it didn't hurt Charlotte to have Nikki Cross cash in on her like it would have hurt Rhea Ripley. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because for Rhea Ripley to like have lost the belt on a cash in or whatever, it's like it kind of just I don't know. It's like it devalues it like her reign, I guess, a little bit. But I think that Charlotte didn't. I mean, it's a number for her. She didn't really need the belt in the first place, so it's a good way to have Rhea Ripley put up a terrific match, look great, and she lost to the the best in the division they ever had, right? In the women's division, their best thing they've got. So it looks better for her to lose to the best than just to like do all that and then just lose to Nikki Cross on a cash in somehow cheaply. You know what I mean? And Charlotte you can do that to Charlotte because she can come back from it either way. You know.
I just remember all during that build up of that whole storyline, even before she came Nikki Ash. I just like. Though I remember wanting to pound my head against the wall for the beat the clock challenges under the 2 minutes. And I was just like, if this is their way of trying to make Nikki Cross seem like a threat whatsoever, even though they put the title on her with the suit, I was like, before when they were doing the beat the clock thing and she was celebrating just winning under 2 minutes, like I just saw that as a terrible look. I was like, really? Why are you?
Yeah.
Like, aren't you supposed to be a wrestler and like wrestle people and like pin them and submit them? You used to be a badass. Now you're like celebrating lasting in the ring for 120 seconds.
Yeah,
But then
writing.
I get it. The kids and the superhero.
Kids.
Hey
man, she hit a home run with this idea. It's so marketable, and that's the thing with this company. It's like that's what you have to be. You have to be marketable. You have to be able to. They have to see value in you beyond. You're good in the fucking ring. Everybody they have is good in the ring. Can they make money off of you besides like what you can do like inside the ropes,
Yeah.
And they don't have all those people honestly right now. I mean, so that's a big thing for her. I mean, how many capes and masks and t-shirts are they going to be able to sell? And this money, kids.
So that's the thing.
The product.
Totally
the product's geared to kids, and that gimmick that she has is right. It's right in that wheelhouse, man. So I mean, it's like probably Cena the most popular, as popular is, even though the people that want him, it's kids, dude. People that loved him as a kid, they're going to still love him when they get a little bit older. They're probably not going to be as vocal about it. You know what I mean? But you hook them young, bro. So it makes sense. All this is good. It's a good gimmick, man. It's great. I mean, fucking Hurricane Helms. How long was his career off that same thing?
Still, you know? It's definitely, and especially all the backstage support you hear afterwards when she won and everyone was and you hear all the stories about how she's just genuinely a very nice person and very caring. She was ordering pizza. Something came out about NXT talents when they were doing stuff, and you like hearing good stuff like that, though.
Yeah.
It's the like making fun of it.
So you follow this a little bit tighter than I did. So Sasha Banks, she hasn't been around for a hot minute, right?
Since Mania, right?
So I think she's advertised for something, correct? A SmackDown?
Have they?
Somebody sent me an advertisement. I'm looking for it right now. Somebody sent me an advertisement where she was. Oh, where is it? Where did it get sent to me? I'm looking right now. I'm going through my messages and texts and all that shit. But I saw somebody sent me a thing where she was 100% advertised for a. Yeah, here it is. It's in Minnesota, in Minneapolis. So it's WWE is coming home to Minneapolis. Don't miss a chance to see your favorite SmackDown superstars at the Target Center, blah, blah, blah. It's Rey Mysterio, Dominic Mysterio, and John Cena. Speaking of which, there we go. That's what you're doing with John Cena. We just talked about it. Versus Universal Champion Roman Reigns and the Usos, the SmackDown champions, in a 6-man match. Also on the card, SmackDown's Women's Champion Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks. So it looks like when SmackDown heads to the Target Center, you're going to get a Sasha Banks return. And there's a little bit more about what we can do with John Cena, apparently. We're going to have him in a 6-man tags with Mysterio and Dominic against the Usos and Roman. So
somebody, some certain reporter put that in as one of his 5 dream matches, I believe, to see with Cena back. And I remember just going, okay, I get it.
Really? Somebody wrote that down? I was like, I can't wait to see Cena and Dominic Mysterio and Rey against the Usos and Roman Reigns. I wonder if somebody was like reading this fucking Target Center thing and be like, oh, watch me. Let me get a little clout myself here and write that down.
I think he works for WWE, I believe. Or Fox, probably.
Well, that makes more sense.
He also put down Apollo Crews too. So I read that.
So I heard Apollo Crews the other day, and I thought for a second I was listening to, I forgot what I was watching. I was like, am I listening to TNA in 2009? Is that Booker T when he had a Nigerian accent all of a sudden? Because that's exactly what it sounded like.
That's what on SmackDown they had. I was telling Mike about that when Big E was out there. Then Rude and Ziggler came out, and then then Cesaro at some point, Nakamura. It was just one after another.
They threw Cesaro out there at the end, like, all right, I'm done with all that. My turn now. And then it just starts the match. It was weird.
They love doing that. Doing that.
But yeah, so I guess we do get a little bit more shed light on what's going on there with Cena and their plans for him. It looks like they're gonna be booking him in like tag matches and shit, like New Japan style.
I think they did that last night. That was the dark match last night. Was the Cena and the Mysterios versus the Bloodline. I saw some clip of it.
So I don't know what date this Target Center show is because I'm not that far ahead, but yeah, I guess we get a Sasha Banks. If she's not back by then, it looks like she will be back then at least.
And they say that Becky's any day she could be coming back too. So
they gotta do something apparently. If they got all this buzz against them in the other company, I guess you gotta start bringing all your people back.
Yep.
So
Fiend, all that stuff.
Yeah, everybody was expecting Becky. I think it's probably better to wait till closer to SummerSlam for that probably than to blow your load at Russell because you had Cena come in right then. You don't want to like water that down and dilute her, make hers any less special or noteworthy or get as much chatter about it if it's drowned out by Cena and all his glory. So yeah, I think we get Becky before SummerSlam or at SummerSlam. It's no way it's any longer than that because we got The Rock coming for Survivor Series.
Yep.
So I mean, where the fuck do you work her in if you don't get it at SummerSlam? So
business is booming.
It is, dude. Like I said, it's good for the first time in a while.
It's exciting.
A lot of eyes on the product.
Yeah, and Impact too. There's a lot of stuff going on with Impact that's pretty good right now. That New Japan stuff with Jay White and Chris Bay as bringing him into the Bullet Club. That's pretty good. That didn't get the attention I thought it should have.
It's because everyone's so busy about just shitting on another product instead of just being like, I like that there, I like that there, I like this about that. Oh, that's why I like NXT. But people are just too busy being like, Omega Reigns greater than, less than, suck it. Like people.
I'm guilty of like provoking that argument too. I was like, hey, I want my Twitter to blow up and get a little bit more interaction. So I was like, hey, who had the better main event? Roman Reigns and Edge, or was it Callahan and Omega?
Son of a bitch.
You know what everybody voted for?
So you ruining Daniel Bryan's return. Now you're starting.
They voted for Reigns. They voted Reigns. I was all right with that too. Everybody said they liked Roman Reigns and Edge better than Omega and Callahan. So I don't know. Did you guys watch Slammiversary?
I saw highlights of it.
Oh. I watched it actually, and it was a good show. I thought that was probably the weakest match on the card, and it was the main event, but it was a good match. It was still a good fucking match. It was just like, every other match was really, 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 really good, and then that was just a gimmick match. You know what I mean? It was a street fight, so it was just kind of, you didn't get the great wrestling action and stuff. But it was just a good match. It was just different. It just kind of changed the pace of the show, and it was still a good match. Not to take anything away from it, but I think it was probably overshadowed by a lot of other stuff on the card.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to go to that one too, but Impact didn't do any media stuff for that really at all, which I don't understand that.
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't you?
You would think.
Right? I was trying to get interviews leading up to it. I was trying to do a bunch of stuff to help push that, and they weren't doing any of it. But
so I want to get to that before we don't want to hold you up much longer.
I got nothing else really to do. I was gonna go PWX, but man, it's such a far drive, and I don't want to do it by myself, man. And none of my buddies wanted to go. I'm like, all my fucking loser friends were like, oh, it's kind of far. I'm like, I'm driving. Fuck you gotta do. You just gotta sit there and listen to my bullshit for 2 hours. What the fuck, man?
Seems like a
anyway
fair deal. What do you got? What do you guys got planned coming up on the push?
Ask your boy, bro. Like, I don't know. I was trying to do shows all week, man. I was trying to do shows all week. I even tried to force it to happen by booking Shazza to be our guest one day, and because I was like, man, he'll let me down, but he won't let Shazza down. Fucker went to sleep, didn't wake up until an hour after we were supposed to record. Because he was mad at me all day. He was like, oh, I'm going to do it, but I don't like it when you spring it on me at the end. I'm like, I get it. I know. I'm sorry. I did this on purpose to force you to not be able to come up with anything else that's going on. And then he still slept through it. And then we rebooked it. So we got Shazza on Sunday night, Monday morning for her. So it'll be like late Sunday night for us. We'll get another episode up with Shazza. I don't know. I think we're just talking shit. I don't even know what we're doing, if she's got anything to push. She's in lockdown in Australia. So it's just like catch up with our friend, see what she can't do since she can't do anything right now. So we had that. Ooh, hit my mic. We had that. I had something else too. I had another interview too. I was trying to figure out when it was going to be, but it's scheduling with Dom. It's been kind of hard. He's on vacation right now. He's in Kansas City. Who the fuck goes to Kansas City for vacation? People in Kansas City. I didn't mean to, no offense, but
he's catching a Royals game, maybe.
Yeah, and Raw on Monday, right?
And he's going, gonna go see John.
It's just, I was like, wait, you're going to Kansas City on vacation? He was like, yeah. I'm like, I think even people from Kansas City are going to be looking at you weird on that one. Like, what the fuck are you coming here for? Barbecue?
It'll be like, you guys didn't hear Reginald's the 24/7.
Yeah, he's got to be there to see. He's real big on that. Dom was
talking. There's going to have to be some kind of ceremony at Raw or something. It's going to be a big deal. I'm actually very jealous.
I'm not going to lie. My mom was big on that. My mom was like, did you see? You should write an article about Reginald. I was like, should I?
Yeah.
Like, should I, Mom?
Yes.
So my mom
I
loves
want to check out my article then on Raw reviews because she'd love it.
I'll shoot her away.
Reginald's all over it.
She's gonna be happy. She was like, people might want to read that. I'm like, you think that's what people want to read? I mean, she might know. My mom is the target WWE audience. I'm not gonna lie. It's great. She loves this shit, but she is definitely that fan, the ones that they can hit home runs with on the most ridiculous shit. And you're like, who's going to like this? Then my mom will be like, did you see? It's so good. I'm like,
he did like 7 flippity floppity floops.
Killing me, Mom. Like, but no, she's fun, man. She loves this shit. It's always fun. My mom, she DVRs every show and like just blows me up about it. And half the time I don't even fucking watch it. So I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about.
You guys need to have her on the push, it seems.
Dude, I was going to, but I'm afraid to because her and Dom are going to gang up on me. All they do is talk shit about me swearing too much and too much profanity. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck you guys.
I remember when we first started on YouTube, we were like, trying to be like, maybe we shouldn't. We had like a no curse, like we tried to not curse or whatever.
I can't follow that rule, so I would never invoke that rule on anybody else.
And then we were posting them, and it's not for. I put not for kids when I post them, so I was like, oh. And the one time we were recording, I was like, yeah, we could curse, we could say whatever we want.
Yeah, I can't help it, and I swear, so people are just gonna have to get used to it. It's a thing. You know what? Yeah, fuck it. They can't do nothing about it. I'm going to cuss. I'm the worst around kids, dude, because I say one word. I'm like, oh, shit, fuck, damn it. And it's just a slew of it. And it is what it is. So, yeah. But, man, let's see. What do you today? We don't have anything this weekend for pay-per-views, right? I actually kind of get a little down weekend, don't I?
Yeah, this is like kind of
the lull before the storm or whatever, the quiet, the calm.
Well, I mean, you got Cardona and Gage.
Oh, that's homecoming. Is that tonight?
That's part one is tonight, but that's going to be on tonight. That match in particular.
That'll be good. That'll be worth watching. Yeah, for sure. I who would have thought that would have been one of the hottest angles of the summer? You know.
Telling you.
And Chelsea Green got hurt again. Or had to get surgery again. Dude, she's made of glass. I hate it. Sucks. She's
Britt
always
Baker
hurt.
getting hurt as well.
Huh?
Didn't Britt Baker like break her wrist or something again? Like I felt like there was 2 women this week that got like hurt.
I think
Chelsea Green is made of glass though. That's
Well, she
But I
got hurt
could've-
before. She
also
was
got
hurt
hurt.
before Slammiversary, I think, and then I think she did herself any favors at Slammiversary wrestling and doing like one-arm Canadian destroyers and shit because she definitely went under surgery yesterday to repair her
Okay.
already broken wrist. So I think she went because she had a cast on at Slammiversary, didn't she?
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, she'd already broke it, but she fucked it up, I guess, worse. So
yeah. I could have sworn this morning I saw that something happened with Britt during her match with Nyla, but I don't know. It could be.
she might have, but I don't think she's not out, is she? I don't think.
I could have sworn she did not miss anything, but I thought something happened to her wrist. I could have just been.
Yeah, that could definitely happen. This morning I'm behind schedule. I woke up a little late and then so the delay, of course, was me not paying my fucking cable bill. Like that's what the holdup was for 2 hours, guys. I was like, why is this shit not working? I was so mad. I was so mad. I was like, this is bullshit because it just kept telling me that I was like experiencing maintenance, and I was like, why are they doing maintenance in the middle of a fucking Saturday? And I was all mad, and I was like, let me just turn on my TV real quick and see what's going on in baseball or something. And then I was like, oh, my TV's not working. I think I might have not paid my bill. I think I figured it out. So I was like, let me investigate this. And I was like, what day is this? Shit. Yep. It's the 24th. If I don't pay it by the 21st or 23rd, they shut that shit off. So I was like, yeah, that's definitely what happened. So we got to the bottom of it though.
Good. Yeah, we figured out. And we figured out the internet. We figured out.
We run a real tight ship around here, guys. Yeah.
We did good things today.
Thanks. But yeah, I'm gonna get you gotta fucking get Dom on how to make my shit look more professional.
I got the outline for him and stuff. I have it all set for him. He can
Yeah.
help him design it.
I need to figure that out too because I'm gonna have to use it on my end because when we try to go live, man, this going live stuff is difficult, man. I didn't know how hard that was gonna be, but we got it worked out.
Now it'll just get
It'll
easier.
only be easier now.
Yeah, the first time you do it's always the worst. So I got a tattoo yesterday. It now it looks like Che Guevara because I got that little new skin thing on it, so it's kind of like seeping a little bit, but it was Mike Myers. But today it just looks like a really bad painting of Che Guevara. So that's been my week. Yeah, yesterday I was like, I'm taking the day off. I'm going to get a tattoo. Fuck this shit. I need a break.
Well, yeah, busy ass week.
Dude, so bad.
Had your Braves too are beating up on our Phillies.
We needed to, dude. We kept we've had a we were early in the week we were losing games from the rain. We kept getting worse and worse into falling behind in the standings and not even playing.
Well,
And how bad's that?
got it on. Cass has the Braves hat. Butler has the Phillies shirt.
Man, my Braves are. It's hard. It's hard being a Braves fan.
Hard.
You need to calm down with us, dude. Your Hawks, your Braves, you all need to back the hell off.
It's hard being an Atlanta sports fan. It's really hard. It's like it's up there with being a Cleveland or something fan. You know, it's just bad. It's hard.
Cleveland Guardians.
It's gonna happen to us too.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Eventually, they said it wasn't, but
Your logo.
it's eventually gonna happen. The
That
Braves.
racist logo on your head right now.
Yeah, or the Chiefs. the Chiefs gonna go through the same thing. You know.
Yeah, I would assume. I think they're all going to get canceled.
Chicago Blackhawks. Are they gonna deal with it?
Bye.
Yeah. See, originally I think I heard that that the Braves were okay because it wasn't like the Redskins where it's viewed as derogatory. You know what I mean? Like being a Brave is more like, oh, that's, complimentary instead of being like, kind of racist. So maybe we're okay. I don't know. Anything else in Atlanta would be just, I don't know if I could do it. I don't know if I could be anything other than an Atlanta Braves fan. That might be what converts me to like pick a new team.
You got a lot around you. Right in the middle there. You pick someone around.
I'd probably go with see, isn't this weird? So in North Carolina, the market we get that I'm blacked out. So the MLB package ticket thing that I get to use, I don't even get to fucking enjoy my Braves games because it's local. So it's like, well, why do I even fucking have this? And Reds are blacked out. So we lose Reds is apparently my market too. Cincinnati, which is like 6-7 hours from me, is apparently in our market.
Playing some okay baseball.
I like the Reds. I've never had a problem with the Reds.
Like a big Joey Votto guy. Big fan of
Yeah,
Joey Votto.
I wanted to go to the Braves and Padres this week, but didn't go. It snuck up on me. I was like, shit, I had talked about going to these games, and apparently I'm not going to them because they're happening. So I didn't go.
Yeah, I was at the 4th of July Padres Phillies. Like Machado had 5 RBIs before the 4th inning.
Jesus Christ.
That was fun.
Yeah, he's awesome. We traded for Jock Peterson. That's let's see how that goes. It's manageable. That's a serviceable trade that the Braves did. I mean, you gotta replace losing Acuna, which you can't really replace that. But I mean, Jock Peterson, he's a good outfielder to have in that like platoon anyway. If they keep him past this year, which I feel like they probably will. I don't see that trade being just a half season loaner. Because they're rotating in guys that they haven't really, I don't think, been sold and convinced on being a championship piece like that. Losing Ozuna, that sucked. We haven't really recovered from that too. So
yeah, Philly's still doing the same Philly thing where I think we had rumblings of signing our pitcher from when we won a World Series in 2008. So
Cole Hamels.
That's the rumor mill one.
Yeah, the Braves. Is it Cole Hamels? Is that what you're talking about? Because the Braves were checking. The Braves were trying him out too. We gave him a shitload of money last year, so I was like, "Yeah, I'm surprised."
That was the epitome of the rumblings.
It's okay. Cole Hamels is still serviceable.
Love Cole Hamels. I mean, but still, I just think it's funny. Like,
the Braves were there. The Braves were there to watch his tryout too in Texas or wherever he was at when he was pitching last week.
Were we looking at closer too?
Kimbrel.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. See,
they thought the Braves were going to try to get Kimbrel, but we ended up with Peterson instead because I think they didn't want to take on whatever else they were trying to pawn off to take Kimbrel's contract, which I think was going to be Hayward. But I don't see why we wouldn't have taken Hayward. He's an Atlanta guy to begin with, and shit, whatever.
Yeah.
Who knows? At least it's not as bad as Cameron Maben. Do you remember that guy?
Yeah.
Did you see they traded him for $1 this year? Did you see that?
Yep.
A fucking $1. He played baseball against us. He's from here.
Really?
He's from the Asheville area. Yeah. So also, I played ball against Carl Anderson growing up because he's from Asheville area too.
How about that?
Yeah, he's from Black Mountain. He played baseball at like Owen High School, which is one of like in our conference rivals at my school. And he's a year older than me, so we would have played our entire fucking lives against each other in like all stars and shit like that too. Apparently. And definitely, I guess, in high school, we played against each other in high school. Didn't have a clue. Didn't ever know it until later. And I was talking to one of my buddies that was on those teams with me. And we were looking at our old, like, traveling team. We had to, like, it was, like, the best people in the area were on this, like, traveling team that you had to pay, I think, to be a part of and shit. But I never got to fucking play. I was, like, the backup catcher, and it pissed me off so fucking bad because I was, like, the best catcher in our area. You know what I mean? But I was always behind this other guy. His name was Chad. I didn't think anything of it. Apparently it's Chad A. And we're like, you know what? I kind of feel like, because it was on our little picture, it just said Chad A. I was like, Chad A. I bet that's Chad Allegra, who is fucking Carl Anderson, because he's from fucking area. And the guy was a year older than me. I was like, 100% that had to be who fucking was the reason I never got to play starting catcher in fucking our traveling team, was because Carl Anderson was stealing all my shine.
Course.
I gotta ask him about that whenever I can fucking run into him. I've been trying to for like 4 years since we just happened to like grab the picture, our old team photo of looking at ourselves one day, and I was like, who the fuck was the catcher above me? Who was that guy? And we were looking, and I was like, Chad A. Wait a goddamn second.
That's wild.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure he's the reason I don't have a baseball career. Not my talent being not enough, but just the fact that just he was above me. Yeah. So anyway, baseball, you can get me distracted on baseball really easily. Yeah.
So we usually close out. I don't have one this week. I'll throw it over to Mike if you have one. We usually close out with the jaBROni of the week.
jaBROni Jabroni of the week. Well, obviously, there's been a lot of news. Oh, what?
No, I was just thinking because the obvious one was money. We go back as far, but Sunday, Money in the Bank, Peacock.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay.
Guys.
So all right. So, yeah, it's going to have to be that. Now, if you've watched or listened to any of our past shows, Peacock has been on this list before. And it seemed like before Money in the Bank, I was the only one in the world having streaming issues with Peacock because I never saw anybody complain on Twitter until Money in the Bank. Like, it got so bad. The saving grace was that John Morrison actually had a honest to God slow-mo motion entrance, and we can appreciate that. But Peacock absolutely is jabroni of the week, along with all the Twitter guys, everyone on Twitter basically who are getting just what are they calling it? Keyboard muscles or something? Or they're strong
Warriors.
behind the keyboard. There you
Yeah.
go. Keyboard warriors.
Fucking trolls
So,
on Twitter, bro. It's awful.
Collective jabroni of the week right there. Peacock and trolls.
That Peacock shit was, that was annoying. I was so mad for like, and of course, as soon as I like, it didn't work. Like everybody's like, oh, if you log out and log back in, it'll fix
Yeah.
it. Didn't work for me. I had to,
Didn't work.
so I have like two my Wi-Fi connections. I got two I can connect to, like this one or this one from my
Yeah.
house. I just bounced to another one and it worked, which was weird. But yeah, I logged out and logged in like 6 times. But when I went from like my Netgear whatever to like my Netgear whatever 5G, so it's got like 2 of the same fucking ones I can connect to. It worked
Yeah, I
just
have the
fucking
same
fine.
thing.
That was
Yeah,
weird.
have the same.
I got an, but yeah, I was cracking up on that Peacock shit because like Meltzer tweeted out like, I talked to WWE and they wanted me to let everybody know to log out and log back in, but if they have to, they'll tell them themselves. I'm like, you fucking really, dude? Like they really were like, oh, maybe Meltzer can get the word out better than we can.
Everybody, yeah.
Dave,
The
come here
fuck
for
do
a
you
sec.
think you are, dude? No, you read that shit on their fucking Twitter, which they'd already put out. Like as soon as he tweeted it, some people were like, "Really? They told you, huh?" And they were like tagging the WWE tweet, being like, "Hey, sign out and sign back in." Things like that's why it annoys me that people have to hear like him say that something's real before they believe it, because like there's that's the most far-fetched fucking statement I've ever heard, to be like, yeah, WWE contacted me to tell you to log out of your fucking Peacock. No, dude, you're not the goddamn messenger, but whatever, bro.
Nothing
We
like
got
hearing him
cASS,
stumble
jabroni
over
of the
words.
Ugh. Fuck it. Whatever. It is what it is. He's a fun guy to see live when you run into him. He likes to shake my hand and tell me how much he likes my work. I'm like, I don't think you do. I really don't think you do. But, you know, whatever, man. He does good stuff. I mean, I know he's got sources, but I don't know, man. Sometimes I'm like, you don't have to be a part of everything that comes out. Like, you know, you don't have to tie yourself to every bit of stuff that the people talk about. But
Yeah.
no, he does good work. He's been around forever, man. Like, you can't really knock the guy he was wrestling news before the fucking internet, you know? So
I love him, and then Cornette fight and all that stuff. It all entertains me.
Cornette, man, like that fucking guy. He took a cheap shot at my friend during the Miami show when he was talking shit about Xenia in the front row, that blonde girl. That's my friend. I got Xenia. I know her personally. She and I hang out when we go down to Florida to do the shows and shit. She's a super nice person, and he was just talking so much shit about her. I was like, what a fucking tool. It really, like, so Cornette's talking shit about her not being pretty. Have you seen your fucking wife, bro? Dude, his wife looks like me, and he's gonna fucking talk shit about her? Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, and then they had all that nonsense with the fan running out and stuff, and
yeah, dude, and like it was a Cornette fan that was responsible for that. Like, sounds right, dude. He's the character he's portrays online, which I think is very much who he is in real person. But it's like turned the fuck up online because it gets him so much attention. That's not good.
Yeah,
it's not good for things. Negativity all the time is not a good way to fucking. I don't know. What's the word I'm looking for?
Just some doses of it. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, we're all negative a little bit, but Jesus Christ, man. Like, I mean, he didn't even approve of the guy fucking taking the stage, like jumping on the stage and rushing the ring, but the guy did it for Cornette. He did it like, I did it for us. Like, see what you're doing with your negative bullshit and just the way you hate everything. You're causing just people to take the wrong approach on everything. You could do so much better with this platform, you know?
Yeah. But it's, and he like shits on the front, but he watches all the stuff and then talks about it because that's what makes him his money and his clicks and everything, is him watching something that he can't stand and then just.
It's funny to watch him talk shit about all these people in AEW and the product, but yet most of these guys were also in Impact or TNA when he was the fucking director of operations or whatever the fuck it was when they brought him in, and he was putting all these guys over as being the future of fucking wrestling. You know what I mean? And now here he is talking shit about half these guys doing the same shit, you know? It is what it is. I guess if they're not paying him any money, he's not going to fucking, be a fan of it.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. I met him at that Bobby Eaton show we did, not this year, but the last year, right before pandemic. He was one of the sponsors. Him and his lawyer, Stephen P. New, was the other sponsor besides myself for the main sponsor of the show. So they were there. And I was like, oh man, they're going to fucking hate me, but they acted like they liked me. Speaking of which, Bobby Eaton, I don't know if anybody's got this Bobby Eaton stuff out there, but he's in the hospital. I was going to write that up when I got out off the podcast, but yeah, Bobby Eaton's has been in the hospital. He, let's see, what is it here? Let me pull this back up. He fell the other day, broke some of his fingers, banged up his hip.
Oh, damn.
They're having to check out his pacemaker and stuff like that, after the fall. But it sounds like once they release him and get him all healed up, that they're going to have to send him through some physical therapy on his hip.
Oh man.
Yeah. So, yeah, hope everybody. This was a couple days ago, I think, that he was in the hospital or whatever. But yeah, he's in Nashville, I think, in the hospital. So I'm gonna have to work that up. Get some well wishes to Bobby Eaton because he's the fucking best, man.
Speedy recovery.
Yeah, his wife died a couple end of June, also, I think.
Oh,
So.
wow.
Yeah, so and she just had passed away, and now his health's going kind of struggling a little bit too. So it kind of ends up working like that sometimes, I mean, guys get down, man, and somebody dying affects how you feel too, So hopefully you can get to feeling better, man. It sucks. Bobby Eaton's one of the best guys in this business, so it sucks. I didn't realize, and I've always forgotten too, that I guess he married superstar Bill Dundee's daughter.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, Donna.
Yeah.
Donna Dundee Eaton. So that was like his daughter. Bobby Eaton married her. So because superstar Bill Dundee and all that was at the show, the Bobby Eaton tribute show we did a couple years or a year and a half ago. And all that. That's when I found out. I guess it was common knowledge, but me being a fucking stoned out space cadet, I forget shit. So, but yeah, I love Bobby Eaton. So well wishes to Bobby Eaton. Everybody that is out there should do the same. Send him some love and good energy and good vibes because he needs it. Been a hard month, it sounds like.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. But yeah, Peacock, jaBROni of the week. I agree with you.
Yeah. Yeah. But before we close up everything, though, Cass, I want you to run through all your social medias, Twitters, everything.
Yeah. Where to find me, man? You can find me on my own personal Twitter. It's at CASSHOOLE with 3 O's, so it's CASSHOOOLE. And do you type that in pretty much anything, you can find me. I think that's my Facebook handle, my Instagram handle, my fucking Snapchat handle. Just if you search that username anywhere, you'll probably find me. You can go, of course, all my work, BODYSLAM.net. You can find the BODYSLAM Twitter. It's at BODYSLAMnet. And we're on YouTube. Our YouTube channel now, guys, I got us a custom URL for that. So people search BODYSLAM Net Pro Wrestling, I think, on Twitter, and you can find our YouTube, our YouTube channel now. BODYSLAM Net Pro Wrestling is our YouTube channel URL. So you can find all our stuff on there, man. You guys, your show's up there every week. Dom and I are trying to keep a show up regularly, but man, it was me being the fucking struggle bus before on this, but man, getting him to get something together has been rough this week. So we're going to get some more stuff up, though. We have stuff coming up Sunday and a couple shows next week for that, but I think that's where you can find me, man, on anything social media. Just search anything for BODYSLAM Net on that, or you can find me, like I said, at CASSHOOLE with 3 O's. That's about it, man.
Yeah, we're gonna break into that YouTube algorithm.
Yeah, dude, we gotta step our fucking.
Figure out we're gonna get it to the moon.
To the moon, brother. Strap a rocket ship on our back and let's go.
You can follow me at jaBROni McCann on Twitter. That's my main social. And you can also follow the show, jaBROnis, at jaBROnis Pod. And also usually every Tuesday morning on BODYSLAM.net, I do Monday Night jaBROnis, where I give a little comedy review through my eyes.
Yeah, man, I like it. It's a good take, man.
Monday Night Raw. There's gifts, Reginald talk. It's fun. It actually makes watching Raw a lot.
Everybody
more.
should check it out, man. It's good to have a different like a view on the show that's not so much just like this is what, like you said, you bring a little bit of comedy to it, man. That's always good. I'm a big fan of that shit. I make fun of stuff that people don't understand why I'm making fun of. I'm like, I make fun of it because I love it, dude. So yeah, read your shit, man. It's good. Everybody should check it out.
And Mr. Butler, go at it.
So
come
you
on.
can find me at jaBROni Butler on Twitter. That is my main account. I'm also on YouTube with the Untitled Wrestling Network, where I post one-man reviews of Raw and SmackDown, quick 30-minute shorts, I'd say, and give my thoughts. It's like Monday Night jaBROnis, just from my perspective, I guess.
Video form.
Yes. So there's that, and yeah, jaBROni Butler on Twitter.
So yeah, I guess Dom still has the old belt that you guys used to fight over, so I created my own.
Yeah,
I did that.
He's got this one here.
Yeah. So, you've got it now. Shit, that shit stole.
I have everything here. I'm stealing everything in this place.
Yeah, so that belt that Dom was sporting, I was like, you know what? Fuck your belt. I got one too. So it's just like my FTW title. So, but anyway, I want to show you this. I haven't shown you guys this, but my new favorite piece to my collection is my new personally autographed Chase Owens action figure.
Nice.
But for some reason he's got blonde hair. I don't know what's up with that, but yeah. I was like, Chase, why is your hair blonde? And he was like, it's brown. I was like, okay. And then he got some highlights. My man got some highlights in his hair to match his fucking action figure. That's professional, right? Isn't it though?
It really is. That's commitment.
I was getting a lot of shit over that. I was like, did you put highlights in your hair because of your action figure? And he was like, no. And his buddies were diming him out left and right. They were like, that's exactly what he did. So
super self-conscious about it.
Yeah. But hey, man, if I had an action figure and my hair didn't match it, I'd be like, I think I'm going to have to match my hair to my figure. So, I mean, who am I to shit talk it? You know, it is what it is. Man, this is fun, guys. I'm glad you had me on. We'll have to do this more often.
We'll get you and Don back on. Next time we'll have you both on together. We'll do this. Yeah. We'll have to do it more. I think we should put more.
I agree, man. I've been saying this we were doing great up until like fucking January, and then it's just been like, Dom, where you at? But we'll be all right. We'll get it back. But yeah, man, let's do it, man. Let's have me on anytime. I'll love to come on you guys' show. You just let me know.
We'll be back again next Saturday. We'll get back into talking about what's going on. I don't know. You never know. This guy right here might be breaking some more news. You hide that.
If I do, I'll let you know, man. I got some stuff I'm working on, but
break the internet. Like,
yeah, it's a hard to, you hear so much stuff and it's just like, okay, let's see if I can find people to confirm all these little things that I hear. But I got some stuff I'm working on, so hopefully I'll drop some more news in the next couple of days. But nice little update for everybody today. I hope that helped clear up some stuff as far as what I know and how people should handle all the scoops that are being dropped right now, and what they should take into consideration as being legit and not. And you know, I mean, people give Steve and Ringside a hard time, but they got some stuff, man. Like, cause I personally vetted like 3 scoops for them this week that they're like, can you check this and see if you heard any of this? And some of their stuff, I mean, all 3 of the things they got, I came back with exactly the same stuff. You know, I was like, yep, every bit of that's what I heard too. So, you know, I mean, they've got some sources that are giving them some good information. So, I mean, I can't say that mine have said exactly the most recent update that they've got, but I've heard a lot of the same shit, and a lot of their stuff checks out. So, I mean, you guys, everybody hates on them, man, but in this case, I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt their reports right now at all. So hope everybody can put a little bit of this to rest. But it's gonna be good, man. Everybody's supposed to be there, man. As far as I know, Punk is there. He's gonna be there for Chicago. Daniel Bryan, it says we should have him. Hopefully Arthur Ashe, if not sooner. So that's my latest for anybody that wants to know.
Perfect. Yeah, and if you guys join the watching live late, go towards the beginning. Cass breaks down everything, all the news that was out during the beginning of the week, and then elaborated on things. So if you're just checking in later on, go back, check that out. But Cass, again, thank you for coming on.
Thank you guys. I loved it. Love talking to you, man.
And next week, we'll be back. Until then, jaBROnis out.